Children, can you hear me? Children, can you hear me? Sorry for the delay. Just now I came from hospital. That's why it's a delay for about 10 minutes. Sorry. We'll start the class in another 2 minutes. Sorry, children. Sorry for the delay. Okay, children. Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon to all. We'll start the topic. Today's class, we are going to discuss about two important topics. One is biodiversity conservation and environmental issues. Next class, the topics are, morphology and modifications in plants. Morphology and modifications in plants. Okay. Children, can you hear me, all of you? Madhavan, Sachin, Setu, can you hear me? Okay, children, we'll start the topic. The next class, I'm going to discuss about morphology and modification of plant tissues, and that is on Saturday. Saturday, we are going to have class. In that, I'm going to discuss about morphology and modifications of plant tissues. Now itself, I will send the PPT to you. Just a minute, I'll share that and start the class. because sometimes I used to forget that. I just upload the next class PPTs to you and then I'll start the class. Sachin, please check and tell me whether you got the PDF. Sachin, please tell me whether you got the PDF or not. Madhavan, Sachin. Madhavan, Sachin, please check and tell me whether you got the PDF or not. Dashan, Setu, okay. So I have sent the papers to you. Sachin, Yvonne, I'll send it to you separately. I have sent it in the group. Now check me, Sachin. Madhavan, Ganesh, have you received it? Sachin, your friend Gaushigan, whether he joined today? Gaushigan, he's supposed to join today. Gaushigan is there? Okay, children, without wasting time, we'll start the topic. The air quality index. The air quality index, can you see the slide here? First question, the air quality index, particulate matter, the number 101 to 150 indicates. 101 to 150 indicates. There is an air quality index. There is a table there. The table, it has some informations there. For example, 0 to 50. If the particulate matter level is 0 to 60, it is normal or good. And similarly, 51 to 100, moderate. And 101 to 150, that indicates unhealthy for sensitive groups. Unhealthy for sensitive groups. And 151 to 200, 151 to 200, it will be unhealthy. Unhealthy. This is unhealthy for sensitive groups. and 201 to 300. 201 to 300. It is completely very unhealthy. And more than that, it is hazardous. Okay. So the unhealthy is the correct answer for this particular question. For this particular question. Okay, move on to the second question. The second question, you can post your answers now for the second question. Which one of the following is not included in in situ conservation? Which one of the following is not included in situ conservations? The term in situ conservation. The term in situ conservation means conserving the organisms in their natural environment. Natural environment. That is called in situ conservations. In the national parks, the animals are conserved in their natural environment. The biosphere, we know that biosphere, it is a restricted region where organisms are maintained, conserved very tightly. Sanctuaries, it is also in situ conservations. Whereas the botanical garden, it is not included in situ conservation because the botanical garden, it has both endemic organisms as well as exotic organisms, it will be there. For example, if you go to any botanical garden, in the botanical gardens, we can see that different kinds of plants, it will be there. From foreign origin can also be there. So that is the answer for question number 2. Kaushikan, Setu, Madhavan, I want all of you to post your answers. All must post your answers. Darshan, the region of biosphere reserve. Next question. The region of biosphere reserve, which is legally protected and when no human activity is allowed, is known as. So there are 4 regions given here. In that region, there is no human activities are allowed. If you see the biosphere, if you take biosphere, for example, I'm just draw a picture here. Think that this is a biosphere. In that, the center zone, it will be there. The center zone. The center zone, we call it as core zone. Core zone. Center zone is called as core zone. And the second zone that surrounding the core zone, we call it as buffer zone. Buffer zone. Core zone, buffer zone, and third zone here, this is called as transition zone. Transition zone. The third zone is transition zone. Here, among these 3 zones, the legally protected zone where no human activity is allowed. Only the officials, they'll go and come back. Human settlement is not allowed. Tourism is not allowed. Grazing of animal is not allowed. So that is zone is called as the core zone. This is the zone where the highly endemic or endangered organisms are conserved. That zone is called as buffer. That zone is called as core zone. Core zone. Next question. It is question number 4. Which is the national aquatic animal of India? Which is the national aquatic animal of India? All of you post your answers. For 4th question, which is the national aquatic animal of India? Which is the national aquatic animal of India? Sachin has given the answer. What about others? Sudhira, Seto. Okay, so here, to save the dolphins from extinction, the union government, they have declared the dolphins found in river Ganges as rare species. In order to protect them, they were given river dolphins as national aquatic animal of India, mainly to conserve them from extinction. To conserve them from extinction. Next question, question number 5. Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol aims at. Montreal Protocol aims at. There are certain protocols which are formulated by the international conferences, by the various leaders of different countries. This Montreal Protocol, an agreement is made in the year 1987. In the year 1987, there was an agreement signed between different countries, leaders of different countries. This Montreal Protocol, it mainly deals with reduction of ozone depleting substances. Because during the 1980s, the biggest threat was ozone depletion. Ozone depletion. In order to reduce the ozone depleting substances like the greenhouse gases and CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, they have signed a treaty that overall throughout the world they have to reduce the ODS, that is called ozone depleting substances. Ozone depleting substances. That is 5B. Next question, question number 6. The World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in. Children, these type of questions, I want you to write it separately, the year, where it is held, which country, All those things are very important because most of the questions from this chapter is like that. In the chapter, get the information about all the various summit that has happened till today, where it has held, which year. Okay, so here the World Summit on Sustainable Development. The World Summit on Sustainable Development, this was held at Johannesburg, which is in South Africa. South Africa. 2002, the World Summit on Sustainable Development, it was held in Johannesburg, which is in South Africa. It exactly happened on 26th August to 4th September 2002 at Johannesburg, South Africa. We'll move on to the next question. Which one of the following is being tried in India as a biofuel substitute? Biofuel substitute. From which plant? So there are 4 options given here. Aegilops, Jatropha, Asadychata indica, Musa paradisiaca. Mostly the Asadychata indica, it is used to make medicines, and Musa, it is also used as medicines plus fiber. Whereas the Jatropha, it has been used as a biofuel because Jatropha, it has an edible oil in it. That edible oil, it can be converted into biodiesel. On earlier days, there were bullets, Royal Enfields. Those bikes are with diesels. Diesel bikes were there. This Jatropha, it is used as a biodiesel. And also another important thing about Jatropha, it emits 80% less CO, carbon monoxide. So the answer for this question is Jatropha. Question number 8. The global agreement in specific control strategy to reduce the ozone depleting substances was adopted by which conference, which protocol? Vienna Convention. The Vienna Convention, they were mainly discussed about the effect of ODS, ozone depleting substances. The Rio de Janeiro Conference, this is called as the Earth Summit. This is called as the Earth Summit. In the Earth Summit, they were mainly discussed about economic growth and environmental protection. The mainly concern is about environmental protection. And Kyoto, the Kyoto Protocol, this Kyoto Protocol, it was held at Japan. Mainly, they are concerned about greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases as well as the global warming. Whereas to reduce the release of ODS, to reduce the release of ozone depleting substances, it is called the Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol. Only Sachin gave answer for this question, children. The next question. The Air Prevention and Control Act. The Air Prevention and Control Act. It came into force during the year 1981. During the year 1981. When Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister, during that time, more laws were amended mainly to conserve the environment, even the Wildlife Protection Act. Like that, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, it was amended in the year 1981. The next question, Kyoto Protocol what was endorsed at? There are certain terms given here, COP3, COP4, COP5, COP6. What does it mean COP? The COP are known as Conference of Parties. Conference of Parties. The Kyoto Protocol, I've told you this protocol, Kyoto Protocol, it was held at Japan. Held at Japan. In the year 1997, the Kyoto Protocol, it was held at Japan. Mainly, this Kyoto Protocol, it is to reduce greenhouse emissions. The Kyoto Protocol is to reduce greenhouse emissions. So this Kyoto Protocol was endorsed at Conference of Parties 3. Conference of Parties 3. COP3. In the year 1997 in Kyoto, Japan. Sachin, but amended in 1987. Which one, Sachin? It came into the ninth question. It is 1981 only. Question number 11. The zone of atmosphere Yes, Sachin, any doubt? Air prevention, that is 1981 only. 1981. Yes. Okay. The 11th question. The zone of atmosphere in which the ozone layer is present. If you see the zone of atmosphere, think that this is the surface of the earth. Surface of the earth. Above that, troposphere is there for about 0 to 10 miles. 0 to 10 miles, troposphere is there. In the tropospheres, only the hot air balloons, the cloud formations, the aeroplanes, all those things are present, are flying in that troposphere. Whereas above the troposphere, that is 11 to 31 miles. 11 to 31 miles distance, stratosphere is there. Stratosphere. The stratosphere is the zone, the ozone zone. It is present in that layer only. The ozone layer, it is there in stratosphere. That is 11A. 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 Whereas the term mesosphere, where it is above 35 miles above, and ionosphere, and over the mesosphere, thermosphere is there, where the satellites are there, and outer space is called exosphere, which is above 900 miles. The answer is stratosphere. Next question, question number 12. Question number 12. Which of the following is not? The keyword is not. One of the brain health risks associated with greater UV radiations through the atmosphere due to depletion of stratospheric zone. The depletion of stratospheric zone, mainly the depletion of ozone layer. Which of the following is not one of the brain health risks associated with greater UV radiations through the atmosphere due to depletion of stratosphere? I have told you the stratosphere is the layer that protects the entry of ultraviolet rays, the UV rays. The UV rays from the sun. The UV rays. This is the stratosphere, the region is the ozone layer. Which one of the following is not? For example, it can damage the eyes, because UV rays can damage the eyes. It reduces the effect of immune system. Increase skin cancer. What it will do? It converts the purines into pyrimidines, and it causes skin cancer. Which one is not a brain health risk? Is increased liver cancer, because liver cancer are mainly because of alcohol, consumption of alcohol. More consumption of alcohol, that is the main reason for increased liver cancer. We call them as liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis. The next question, the next question, the highest DDT concentration in aquatic food chain shall occur in. What is DDT? Dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane is an hydrocarbon. Here, the accumulation, the highest DDT concentration, it get accumulated where? That is called as the term, we use the term biomagnification. Biomagnification process. What is biomagnification? For example, if any toxins are there, first it will enter into the producers. By the producers, it will enter into primary consumers. And through the primary consumer, it affects the secondary consumers. And then tertiary consumers. Here, the toxins keep on accumulating from here to here, here to here, here to here. And maximum it will be there in the tertiary consumer. That is called as biomagnification. Usually the top carnivorous organisms are the top consumers. The top consumers, they are the one that is responsible for accumulation of higher concentration of chemicals. Here, the DDT, dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane, the toxin, it is accumulated in the producers. For example, here the phytoplanktons are the producers. Primary consumers. The primary consumers are the eel. And the secondary consumers are the crab, whereas the tertiary consumers in this aquatic chain, it is seagull, the birds, the aquatic birds. Here, being the seagull the top consumer among the given option, they'll feed on crabs, they feed on eels. So all the chemicals at higher concentration accumulate in the top carnivorous organism, that is called as the seagull. Now the next question, question number 14. Joint forest management concept was introduced in India during. What is the joint forest management crop? Earlier, the forest department and the tribes both used to fight with each other for climbing the forest, climbing the right for forest. There is a lot of conflicts between the forest rangers and the tribes. The tribes, they want to enter into the forest, there is the livelihood. But the forest people did not allow the tribes. So there was a big conflict there. And later, in 1980s, joint forest management concept was introduced where both the forest people plus the tribes both together forms a group in protecting the forest. The protection of forest. This was there in the year 1980s. 1980s. The next question, the concept of red data book. We all know that there is a book called Red Data Book. which have the list of threatened species. List of threatened species are endangered species in that. Endangered species in that. The concept of Red Data Book, it was actually founded in the year 1964 by the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Earlier it was IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, but now it is known as International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. They have the book called Red Data Book. That Red Data Book, it has the information about the endangered organisms. This was introduced in the year 1964, but it was mooted, or the plan was started in the year 1963. Next question, question number 16. The government of India launched the Project Tiger in the year 1973 to conserve the tiger. Mainly to conserve the tiger. Here, which place it was launched, in which particular zoo it was launched? Here, the Ranthambore National Park is given. The Ranthambore National Park, which is in Rajasthan, it has tigers, leopards and boars. The wild boars are there. And similarly, the Kaziranga, it has rhinos, one-armed rhinoceros, elephants and tigers. And Jim Corbett National Park, which is in Uttarakhand, it has tigers, leopards and elephant. And Kahana National Park, which is in Madhya Pradesh, it has tiger, leopard and elephant. Almost in all the 4 national parks, the project tiger, it was there. But among these 4 parks, the Jim Corbett National Park, this is the oldest park. This is the oldest park, which was established in the year 1936. 1936. So the Project Tiger is also launched in the Jim Corbett National Park in the year 1973 to conserve the tiger. Next question. The animal that is protected in Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park. The Kaziranga National Park, it is in Assam. In that area, the one-horned rhinoceros, it is mainly conserved in Kaziranga National Park. That is the reason why it is now highly protected. The UNESCO now, it protects the Kaziranga National Park because it is a rich diversity is there, and now it is World Heritage Site. World Heritage Site, where they are conserving the one-horned rhinoceros. For elephant, we have Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuaries. And for tiger, Paramikulam Tiger Reserve. Top slip tiger reserves are there to protect the tiger. Even in Jim Corbett, they are protecting the tiger. Mainly, the one-horned rhinoceros are highly protected in Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park. We'll move on to the next question. Hemis National Park. Hemis National Park. Where this Hemis National Park is located? The Hemis National Park, it is a national park which is at higher altitude. With higher altitude. The Hemis National Park. The Hemis National Park, it is there in a region called Ladakh, which is in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. It is present between the Leh and Ladakh. And this particular national park, it is very famous for snow leopards. This national park, it is famous for snow leopard. Snow leopards. The answer for this is option C. Next is red list. Next question. Red list contains data or information on marine vertebrates, all economically important plants. Plants to product or international trade. The red list data, it contains mainly about the threatened species. The threatened species. Threatened species of all kinds, both flora and fauna. That means both plants and animals. It contains information about the threatened organism, the organisms which are at danger, the organisms which are at great dangers. Those organisms are conserved here. Those organisms, the name of the organism list and all the information, it will be given there. 19D. The next question, Alexander von Humboldt described for the first time. What he described? There are four options are given here. One is the population growth equation, ecological biodiversity, law of limiting factor, species area relationship. Species area relationship. The term population growth equation, this was given by Thomas Malthus. It was given by Thomas Malthus and Charles Darwin. The law of limiting factor, Blackman. Whereas the species area concept, this was first studied by Alexander von Humboldt. Is the person who studied about the species area relationship. The species area relationship. This was founded by Alexander von Humboldt. Alexander von Humboldt. But here, Alexander von Humboldt, he also described about ecological biodiversity earlier, but he is the person who studied deeply about the species area relationship. Of course, the answer given by Sachin, it is partially correct. But the main concept is the species concept. The species concept. Okay. Children, next what I'm going to do it is now. I'm going to send the paper from these topics now in another 10 minutes. I'm going to send the paper. I want you to do it. I want you to do it and send the paper to me, answers before 6 o'clock. Before 6 o'clock. I'm going to send the papers now. Before 6 o'clock, I want you to send the answers to me. Okay? I want to send the answers to me before 6 o'clock. All of you send the answers to me before 6 o'clock. Okay? Kaushikan, Sachin, Shruti, Sudhira, all of you will send the paper now. Within 10 minutes, I'll send the paper. I want you to submit the answers to me before 6 o'clock. After lunch, you can start the test. And next class, as I mentioned the topic, the second chapter in 11th standard syllabus. That is morphology of flowering plants and morphology of tissues, plant tissues. Those two topics we're going to discuss in the next class. Okay, children. So I'll send the papers in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next class. We'll see you in the next class. Next class, there will be a question discussion immediately followed by test. Okay. So prepare for that. You have a lot of time. Prepare well and come back. Now I'll send the paper, children. Thank you very much.